I believe that this virus is used to extract uh, money from people and like elitists and governments to keep it from being used on them. And that's one way the Communist Party apparently has secretly possibly gotten rich since that Jinping got in there and started. Of course, they had gold back in Nixon's days, and the government was fond of it. This U.S. government was. A lot of the people were, what do they call it, coveting Chinese gold, how rich they were. But I do think that the plans of that Jinping by having that's how he got into control was it was his idea to come up with a virus to spread worldwide. And because everybody says, oh, you can't spread a virus or you can't do NBC or chemical attacks or biological attacks because if once you spray it, the wind and the weather has so much a factor in getting it to kill a bunch of people. But he's been working on it for at least 40, probably 50 years. And he's told not maybe world leaders, but people that he comes in contact with. That's how serial killers are too. They'll brag about it and people don't believe them because they think, well, there's this, that, or the other. And he was considered, he was kind of introduced as I think he was introduced as like a business genius, like not commodities, no, but it's just he was supposed to be an economic. That's what it was. He was like an economic genius. It was all business, but it was basically he got together with the Communist Party, which has changed hands because when an idea comes in, people back the idea come into control. And that's why how he got in there is his idea was to create a virus to do like civilian war with. They'll never admit that they used it to attack. It's always going to be it's always going to be something else. It's always going to have an excuse. But it actually is a way to gain control, extort money, make people that are elitists rich, and it's all to create favoritism toward the Chinese Communist Party. And I don't think Jinping could take. Maybe he's the first one that can actually, since he came up with the idea of this, and I'm sure other people that he didn't tell would try to claim it or something like that. But something about the Communist Party is you can't. There's a way that they come into control, but it's like they can't really be in control. It's like might be their idea, but they don't take claim to it or whatever. But somehow he's been able to lay claim to it and rise to power over like 40 or 50 years of introducing this idea around the world. As he was introduced to people before he became president, before he came into power. He was just like I think he was like like a diplomat or something like that, but he wasn't even a diplomat. He was just somebody with the idea, and they just put him in position of diplomat. They called him a diplomat, but he wasn't really. He was just somebody that was going to spread his ideas, see how far he could get with it. And that's where we are now. It's all these I think he's told like probably gang members, probably some of that of rice, and I don't know if that was Japanese or whatever it was, but a lot of these chemical and biological attacks, I'm pretty sure, were spawned on by him, from him telling somebody, and they think, well, he's rising up, or he's above me, and so if he can do it, and then they might say, well, I'm going to try it first. And he's like, he didn't care if other people tried it. I don't think, if you fail, then you're going to pay the price, because we'll have to come looking for you. But anyway, that's where I'm at on this whole thing. And so that's how the Chinese communist system works. Whoever has an idea to take over the world, I guess, comes into power, and that's how they do it. And it has nothing to do, with bettering the country. It has all to do with becoming the well, of course, all countries are probably like that. But it's basic. That's feudal warlord stuff where they want to continue to take over. Instead of making a planet where everybody, everybody rises up and realize, and that this stuff needs to happen, stuff needs to stop. They don't want that. They're still in this jealous era of controlling and maintaining power. So that's what I'm saying.